Hello, glad to see you again at Ethnic Creative Cooking. Today I'm making biscuits and gravy from the South. And so come up, grab a seat, and let's get moving. Into this bowl, we're going to be placing 2 cups of flour. So just measure that out using a straight edge here. And let me get that out of the cabinet here. And just make sure you get 2 cups in here. There's number 1. Oh boy. It's the fall and it's getting, all the leaves are falling off and it's time for biscuits and gravy, our breakfast unit. So that goes right in there as well. Then we're going to put in 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. I use Himalayan salt because it's healthier for you, and I also use organic sugar because it's healthier for you too. And I use Rumford because this doesn't have any aluminum in it for baking powder. So we're going to use 3 teaspoons. So here's number 1, and here's number 2, and we have 1 more here. And 3, okay? So 3 teaspoons of baking powder go in there. And then we're going to put in a 1/2 cup of shortening, and I've already kind of measured it out. So just scrape this off of here. That's a 1/2 cup of shortening. And then we're just going to be using something called a pastry blender. Okay, it looks like this right here. Has all these tines in it, and you're just going to cut the fat into the flour mixture here so that you have little pellets of fat shortening in here, about the size of peas, maybe a little bit smaller. And you're just going to wipe it off here as you go, and then start again making your fat particles the pea size. They kind of explode basically with the heat. And so, which reminds me, let's go ahead and preheat the oven to 400 degrees. 400 degrees, and get that moving. It takes about 5 minutes to heat up here. And once this is, fat particles about the size of peas, you want to come over here and look at this for a second here, so people can kind of see what this looks like. But you put this over here, and here's what it looks like here. All the fat is cut up in there like so. And then we're going to put in 3/4 of a cup of whole milk. And it should be whole milk, and the reason why it should be whole milk is because it has more fat in it. And so it gives it better flavor, and it works out better. Okay, so let's take a spoon and mix all this in here together. All right, so these are, you can use buttermilk if you want to. It kind of has a lot of acid in it, but a lot of people don't have that, and you have to buy it, especially at the grocery store, and then, what do you do with the rest of it? Make another batch? I suppose you could, but so milk is just a easier ingredient to use for making biscuits, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to do something called kneading, okay? So just grab your hands. Let's take off a ring here or 2. So just kind of get in here and knead the ingredients. We're not going to knead it too much though, because we don't want to over mix the quick bread basically. So just get it going like so. Okay, so you have 1 ball, and then we're just going to set this aside and put a little bit of flour down below so it doesn't stick. Right, so kind of flatten this, put this over here into the sink and get it out of the way. Okay, so you're just going to take this and flip it over to the other side, and just firmly pat this down using your palm of your hand. We're looking for about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, somewhere in there. Kind of depends on how thick you want your biscuits. I don't like mine thin, although they do cook quicker if you have them a little smaller or less thick, I should say. And then after that, just go ahead and grab a cup out of your cabinet here. And I'm looking for about this size. You can use biscuit cutters if you want to, but a lot of people don't have them at home. So I just use one of these and just put it on here like so. And just you have to put a little bit of flour on this, otherwise it sticks, okay? So push down, don't twist, okay? Just go ahead and do that. And then one more. We'll gather them together again here and make some more. One in the center. There we go. Okay, so just take your cut out biscuits here and put them onto you don't have to have parchment paper because there's so much shortening in here. They don't stick at all, which is nice. It's easy to clean up even if you don't have parchment paper. Okay. So I don't want to waste it, so I don't use it for biscuits at all. Okay, and then just put it on here like so. You can put them close together so that they run into each other if you want to, or you can separate them. Whatever you want to do. This grab this together again, and then we'll just pat it out and make some more biscuits here. So once it goes around the second time, kind of have to give it a little bit more of a massage there, or kneading. Flatten this out a bit. Put a little bit more flour down. And then the other side. Okay. And then again, we're going to make a couple more here. So this is making about 8 right here. Here's number 9. So when you get down to this part, it gets a little bit more testy, because it basically is harder to roll out and then make a perfect biscuit out of. Okay, so there's one more. So we have 9. Our last one, we're just going to kind of roll it up as much as we possibly can and make one with our hands here, okay? So just take that last one. It's not going to be the same size as the others, but we're not going to waste our dough, okay? So about 10 biscuits is what it makes, and these ones are a little bit thicker, so if you make them thinner, you'll make more biscuits, okay? So I'm going to meet you over here making gravy. And as soon as the oven is heated up to 400, I'll put these into the oven. It's time to make the sausage gravy. And so the timer has 2 more minutes on the biscuits. So you're going to put this on medium heat, about 5 out of 10 on the dial. We don't want it to be too hot because we have dairy products going in here, and they will scorch or burn, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to be placing our butter in here, and I'm going to grab a scraper out of here. Okay. And goes right in here, like so here. And we're going to then put in the sausage here. And this is pork sausage, but you can use any kind of sausage that you want. You can use turkey sausage, chicken sausage, you name it here. You can even use fake stuff if you want to, that's vegetarian. Just turn it inside out to get all the ingredients out of here so you don't waste anything. And then we're just gonna kind of wait for this to heat up and cook. Let's throw this in the trash and let me wash my hands after I've touched pork. So, all right, let me dry my hands off here. Okay, it's time to get the biscuits out. So let me move my lid over here and I'll put them right out here. Ooh, those look awesome. Look at these biscuits. See the golden crust down there? Those look awesome. So let's put these right here and turn that off and turn that off as well. There we go. And those are going to be our biscuits that we're going to be using here. Oh, they look so good. So let's just kind of break this apart into the pan here. And then we're going to put a few other things in here. Give it a little bit of oomph on the flavor. Because I don't like pasty gravy. I like it to have like some good flavor. So we're going to put a couple of things in here to do that. So we're going to put a little bit of salt, a half a teaspoon of salt, okay? Remember that the target for today, or the objective for today, is that we're going to be able to make biscuits from scratch and gravy from scratch, plate it up, make it look nice and professional, serve it to our customers, and have them enjoy a Southern dish, you know, right from the South, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, and that area there. So this is one of their favorite types of meals there. But we do have restaurants here in Washington State where we have biscuits and gravy, but it's a bigger thing down there than it is here in the United States. So, alrighty. So we're just gonna make sure that we get all the pink out of the pork, because we want to make sure that we don't cause any salmonella food poisoning or anything like that. So just kind of move that around. We're going to add in some pepper. This is a half a teaspoon of pepper. Okay, goes right in there like that. Let's mix this in as well. We're not going to add very many herbs and spices or anything like that. Just some pepper as a spice, really, for because it's kind of more plain and it emphasizes more of the sausage than it does any other flavors, okay? We're going to put in a teaspoon of beef bouillon granules. If you don't have those, you can smash a cube, one of the cubes that they have. This adds a little bit more flavor to the dish, okay? And that's what we're kind of going for. Some people do like this more pasty, and then you would leave that out. Okay, so it's getting there. You can come over here and look a little closer if you want to. There's still a little bit of pink in there. And my other ingredients that I'm going to be using is 2 tablespoons of flour. This is going to be like our roux that we're creating. And then we're going to put in 3/4 of a cup of whole milk, and then 3/4 of a cup of just hot boiling water, okay? So here we go. Woohoo! It's looking good now. Okay, so we're going to add in our flour now. Here's 1 tablespoon. Okay, and then let's do one more. Okay, there we go. 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour goes in there, and that's our thickening agent to create our gravy. Okay, so make sure that you have all the white flour out of there. We don't want any dry flour in there. Okay, and this is called fond right here. See this coloration right here? That's called fond, and it creates flavor. Okay, there's a little bit of the butter left there. It got stuck in there like that. Okay, and so then after that, we're going to slowly pour in our milk here. Okay, and just kind of stir this around the pan like so. There we go, and just pour this in here like yay. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna now just get some water out of the hot tap over here. Okay, and then just pour this in as well. So this is boiling water. You can use all milk if you want to. It'd be a cup and a half. But there we go. So we're just gonna wait for this to boil, okay? It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take about 3 or 4 minutes for it to get boiling, okay? But once it gets boiling, we're gonna plate it all up and you'll see how yummy it is, okay? So I'm glad that you joined me today to make biscuits and gravy. You're gonna have to come again sometime. So I'll see you in a few. We're ready to plate up. Come look at how thick this is, this gravy. And if you want it thicker, you just leave the lid off and you just let it get thicker. I like it about this thick. I don't like it to be too gloppy and too thick because it grosses me out. But if you want it to stay, you know, not lose any more moisture, just put the lid on like this and so that it doesn't get too thick, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and take this over here. Let me get out something to put down here so that we don't burn anything here. All right. And I'm gonna turn this off as well. There we go. And it's time. Here's the biscuits right here. I'm gonna put some pepper on here and I'm also gonna put a little bit of parsley on here to make it look good for the presentation. So it kind of depends on how much biscuits and gravy you want, but I'm gonna use 2 biscuits. So just pull those apart and put them down here. Oh man, they're like really nicely flaky. Look at that. That's what we're looking for, is the striations and things like that. They look great. What's that? So we're going to take the lid off of this here. Let's put it in here and grab our ladle here. Okay. So this is our thick sausage gravy. Yum, yum, yum. Now let's put one more on here just to make a big pile of biscuits and gravy, right? So just go ahead and put this on here like so. Yum. Woo! Talk about tasty, okay? So then after that, let's put a little color on there with a little bit of parsley, right? And then we'll put a little bit of pepper on here too. And there we go. And then take and clean off any parts that, you know, have too much pepper on there. There we go. Biscuits and gravy. Yum, yum, yum. Enjoy. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time on Ethnic Creative Cooking. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.